Some psychologists and spiritual teachers say we must become self-realized. But what does that mean? And is it possible? Do you think Jesus or Buddha were self-realized? If they were, can you or I do the same? Join us as we see if we can realize our true selves by asking, who am I? Our purpose is to awaken, to awaken, to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolutely true. That's our purpose. Hey, Raphael. All right. Hey, Paula. All right, great. How's it going? All right. Yeah, we got the gang on here.
Yes.
All right. We're going to continue discussion about self or I, the identity. Okay? This identity that says I. Now, if you notice, I wrote I and God. Now, most people don't put those two words together. The most important word you can ever know is I, because everything's attached to I. There's nothing can exist unless I is. I know that might sound a little, grammatically incorrect, but what can exist without I? All right? So, nothing. All right? So, can God exist without I? This self. All right? I and self are the same. So, are I God and self? If Jesus had to ask, can I be God? All right? He had to ask that question. All right? Or Buddha, Siddhartha, did he ask, can I be God? Supposedly Moses came up with the statement called, I am that I am, and said it was God, as if it was separate from him, as if it was a burning bush. Okay? But if Moses was wise, Moses would have said, this I got to find out about I, because everything is attached to it. If the schools, if Morehouse Archibald had taught us about I, although Dr. Mays, I think, was trying to get to it a little bit, okay? But if at Harvard, or if in these theological seminaries, if they would say, let's study I, rather than studying a book or a bunch of books about a book, okay? If they would get to the source, and religion is supposed to be about getting to the source. The word religion comes from the word religio, which means binding back to the source. And the source is I, this self that is. Now, what is this self? Have you asked yourself, truly beyond that which you ordinarily think that you are, a body in time and space, that came out of a woman, and that, accepts certain prescriptions by society, that, you do this, that you were born, you live a few years, and then you die. Okay? Gloria.
Well, one of your Kickstarter questions, is there anything you must do to be yourself? Mm-hmm. But it's a small y. So to me that infers this identity body self, the human self.
Okay.
Versus the I, God self.
Okay.
Capital S. So is there anything you must do? It's like, okay, is there something for me to do to become self-realized?
No.
Why not?
Because you already are.
Okay.
Look, I am. That's absolute truth. All right? Now, who or what can say that?
I can.
I can. Now, who is that I? Can God say I am? That I exist? That's what am means, to exist. Okay? Of course. If he wanted to talk, or if he could talk. I don't know if God can talk or not.
What about
all right?
she?
Huh? She, he, it, whatever. Okay. These, that's conditioning. All right. Men wrote the Bible, of course. All right. God's a man. All right. But the point, at least that's the concept. All right. But that's why we got to go beyond concepts and how we get trapped by these concepts.
Alternate fact.
Huh? The alternate fact. I've heard that somewhere in some press conference. Okay. But anyway, the point though is, do you want to get to truth? Do you want to get to God? God is truth. Gotta be. All right? So do you want to get to truth? Well, most humans don't. Most humans want to accept alternative facts. Okay? They want to accept, that I, the self, is a human. That's what we start with every second. I is a human. Can a human and God coexist? All doesn't have a question or answer. Okay, yeah. But what I'm saying is that, since you start off as a human, and you will start off as a human because you think, all right? And so therefore, yes, it's good. That's why we got this show, and the show is a question, okay? And then it can maybe, peel back that onion, all right, in a sense. Keep peeling it back of all these false conditioning. Well, all conditionings are false, but all this conditioning, okay, that, God created the world and, in the beginning God created and, we are just children of God and, all that stuff, okay, to begin to question that. And then when you get to where there is something called, as we were saying in the previous show, nothing, all right, this no mind, then boom. That which is. And I just got a signal to wind it up, okay? So we'll wind it up. We'll be sinful right now, okay? But we admit that there's time, because if you admit there's time, that's sinful, all right? But, in this world, trying to break out of the box, we were referring to you again, Lena. We're trying to break out of that box, but you got to ask questions to begin to break out of that box. Otherwise, you'll think what you've been taught is true. And you will accept that as true, and you'll be like a sheep, just following, some leader. So, thank you, and continue to ask questions. And the most important question is, who am I? Thank you.